What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 5 of the Purple and Gold Perspectives podcast. I'm your host, Mike Javid. With Mitchell Robinson, not the Knicks player, but a Warriors super fan. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Obviously the Warriors, they're around 500 right now. I'm not sure exactly what their record is. Um, but they got a good win last night, blowout win against the Bulls. What are your thoughts on that?
It was all right. I'm not that high on our team this year, but I really like the way Kerr coached, which is the first. Like the way our young guys are playing, Quinn Post, Guy Santos, Big Moses Moody guy, and of course Steph.
Yeah, I agree. Guy Santos, he's impressed me this year. I did not really know the name that well until like a couple weeks ago. He's been good. Obviously, Quentin
Yeah,
Toss, he was good. He had what, like 20 points?
yeah, he scored 20. He was amazing to watch out there.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously the Lakers and Warriors are playing on Saturday, so tomorrow, as you guys are watching this, how are you feeling about it?
Look, every time LeBron versus Steph happens on that court, it's a different energy out there. Um, Not confident at all, to be honest. The Lakers kind of have our number. AD dominates us most of the time. Be a good game, but just want the team to compete, honestly.
I think it will be a pretty close game. We normally play each other really close. Like obviously last year we had
Definitely.
that double overtime game. That Christmas Day game was amazing. You were actually there.
Yeah, it was. It's quite fun. I'm wearing the shirt I got at that game right now, actually.
Yeah. It was like a really good game, and then even like the games in LA last year, they weren't like close, but they were like not like blowouts. Like it was
Definitely.
like pretty close until like the fourth quarter where you guys just pulled away.
Yeah, it was. Every
Um,
time we play against each other, it's a battle.
it is, and I'm very excited for it. Um, well, like, what are your thoughts on Steph not being named an All-Star starter?
Look, it's in San Francisco, so I think that's the appeal of things. Personally, I don't think he should be a starter, but I'll take it. I mean, he's like we can talk about his minutes being down and all that, but at the end of the day, he's averaging 22 and 5 or 6 on the 11th seed. Players like
Yeah,
Anthony Edwards, even Luca. I know Luca's been out for a while, but I'll still start him over him. Like
I agree.
Fox, even. I had Steph as a wild card, to be honest. But it's in San Francisco, so I understand it all. But let's say it was in, I don't know, Philadelphia, Steph shouldn't be starting.
I agree. I had Luca over him. Obviously, I was wrong about that. I think I had like 8 out of 10 of my picks right, so it wasn't that bad. I just had Luca starting over Steph, and then I had Wemby starting over KD.
I like it. I like it. I had Darius Garland starting over Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell is sneakily escaping a lot of not criticism, but a lot of he's getting a lot of extra credit for that Cavs season, but I think he's been their third best player personally.
Third,
Yeah,
I
Mobley
just
and
kind of feel like Evan Mobley's been
Garland
better
above.
than Garland. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Mobley's been better than Garland also.
Yeah. But for the Lakers, obviously Jared Vanderbilt is gonna return, which I'm so pumped about. Hopefully
Mandalorian.
he gets a lot of minutes. I don't think he'll get a lot of minutes to start, but hopefully he plays well enough where if we do decide to move on from him, we can get some value for him. But I really don't like. I don't want to move Vanderbilt. I think he's really good. He was playing really well for us last year, like right before he got hurt. In that Celtics game, he was amazing. It was it was great. We can even talk about that Celtics game last night. Pumped about it. Already made a reaction video. But
Yeah, those Lakers, man.
it was so. But like, what's your prediction for this game?
I think the Lakers win 111, 104. Close game throughout. You guys close better. I think it'll be another Steph versus LeBron masterclass. They're always upper level against each other. It's great to watch. I'm predicting a big Buddy Hield game. I think the Lakers they don't guard the 3-point line that well, and I reckon Rui will
We did
take
guard it well
Buddy
last
Hield if
night.
we.
We did guard it
You
well
did. It
last
was
night
good to
against the
see
Celtics, but it's just one game. I'm not sold yet. I do think Hield's gonna have a pretty good game too.
because the matchups would probably if we continue to go small like we've been going. Steph, so Steph will start. Then we'll go Buddy Hield, Wiggins, GP2, and Looney. If we continue to go that small, I think Rui will take Hield, and that could be cause a lot of problems for you guys on the perimeter.
Yeah, but the problem is he's a cone defensively.
Exactly.
What are your thoughts on that starting lineup though
I
with
just don't
Hayden
like
at
that
the
starting
4?
lineup. I not a fan at all. I think GP2 needs to get off the team. Like he just does not fit with this group. A guy who can literally be guarded um inside the key as a guard, or he's like playing as a power forward, but he's a guard. Like that's just not good for a team. Spacing when you got Kevon Looney at the 5, who can't shoot. Draymond when he's back can't shoot. Well, he
He's been
can this
shooting
year, but you
fairly well this year though.
for sure. But teams don't respect the shot. Trace
Yeah.
Jackson Davis, like I could keep on listing names. I just Gary doesn't fit with the team. He's an undersized guard who's playing big and then can't shoot. And man, don't get it. His point of attack defense is good, but it's not like elite to the point where he's one of the best defenders in the league. I don't get the over. I don't get overplaying him. I don't get him still on the roster as an expiring deal.
Yeah, I agree. I do expect him to get traded. Maybe it's just so like they attach a second round pick to him just to like get off that money, get like below like the are you guys over the second apron?
I think we're just under it from memory
Yeah, well that could like give you guys like more flexibility to make another move.
for sure. I do
I could see
expect a move of some sort.
I could see a similar thing with Looney too.
I think because we got a lot of expiring deals. Like Payne's at 9 million expiring, Loon's at 8 million expiring. Kaminga, you could like dangle around. I don't know if he will. He's got expiring, but it'll be extended of some sort here or wherever he gets dealt to. Um, we've still got a lot of tradable contracts. That's why I'll be quite annoyed if we don't make any deal of some value.
Yeah. I feel like you guys are kind of in a similar situation as us with trading, where you have like
Yeah,
the flexibility. Because, like, say, like, we trade for Kessler, like, we could just make that 2027 first unprotected. That, like, gives us more flexibility for other trades. That's why I really want that trade.
I feel like Kessler it'd be a good fit there, but also for a guy who can't shoot. And actually, I'm going to interrupt myself here. What do you think about AD talking to Sham saying he still thinks he's a 4 and he wants another big?
I don't really like it. I think he should just play the 5. I like our offense better when he's at the 5. Like, because, like, right now, because ever since he's, like, gotten more buff, he's been like a better player. He's kind of came back, not to 2020, obviously, but he's been a top 10 player in the league. He's our best player right now. And I really just think that having AD, because he's obviously not gonna like pay you and hit every like contested threes or anything, but he can hit like a wide open three at the top of the key. So yeah, I think AD he needs to just man up, play the five. We just need a backup center too, because Jackson Hayes isn't it. He did play well last night though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with AD, right? I love his game, but he settles for that mid-range shot way too much. And if he's playing
I
the
agree.
four, he'll have he'll have to shoot that more, and I just don't like that. And then, as you said, he can hit the three, but he can't shoot threes. You know what I mean? Like, and the
Yeah.
spacing there, that's why I hate when Lakers fans or people in general say AD needs to play the four, and him included now. I don't get it because he can't shoot the ball. He's getting slower, and he'll have to guard outside of the key more, like on the perimeters, because there's a lot of shooting fours around the league. Like, I don't get it. I think you guys should go for a cheap backup five and just keep on going that route because I don't think putting in your chips for a five next to AD helps unless they can shoot the ball.
I agree with that. The thing with AD, he needs to just get into people's chests, which he's done more over since like 2021, 2022. He needs to just and then just like float it in or something. He's
For a
got a
guy with
man
that
up.
much weight on him, for sure. With a guy like him who's got so much weight on him, he doesn't use that to his advantage. Like when he got that putback rebound last night against the Celtics, and he got an and one, like in near the last quarter, I believe, he finally used his body when you hardly see that with him.
Yeah, like what we saw in the first week of the season. That's what I want to see.
Bang
And I
on.
hope that comes
Yeah, I
back in the
love that.
playoffs.
Because I'm very high on this Lakers team. Like, there's paths, in my opinion, where they can make the conference finals. Even, no, not even the finals, but the conference finals. I believe that. I really like the flexibility you guys have. And AD and LeBron, you can always trust them to perform down the stretch of seasons. And Austin Reeves has taken another leap. You just need one or two bench pieces, which you can get easily.
Who do you think like we'd be if we like what do you think our path is to the conference finals?
I think you guys can beat. So I had to think about this the other day. I think you guys can beat. I'll go the other way. I don't think you can beat the Thunder. I don't think. I don't think you guys would be the favorites against Memphis, but I think you can beat them.
I think we'd
And
beat Memphis.
I think you could definitely. I think the rest of the West is that easy, not easy, that open for the Lakers. I'm like, I'm going to go straight to Denver, right? I'm not high on this Denver team. They're playing great basketball right now, but that playoff spacing off the bench, it's like a few years ago when they won the chip. KCP, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, these guys were contributing on a high level for that team. Now their bench is
Well,
really weak. Russ is playing amazing basketball, but do we really trust his shooting to be as good as it is this year in the playoffs? I'm not too sure.
I don't.
I don't
The
know.
one problem is though, the things that like kind of gets me scared about the Nuggets is that they had the same problem last year and we still couldn't stop them.
Yeah, it's a good point.
They went ice cold outside of game 5, they weren't hitting threes. They were getting to the paint, they were playing physical. That's what makes the Nuggets so good. It's that, and then they execute so well down the stretch.
Oh my God, definitely. It's interesting, right? Because we know Jamal Murray for some reason takes a leap against the Lakers. It's only the Lakers, I swear. And like we know how badly the Lakers defend on the perimeter with Rui at the three, and hopefully DFS starts when he's off that minutes restriction. I think that's a perfect fit. But realistically, it all depends on the bench for the Nuggets, and that's why it's a different. Feels like a different Nuggets team this year, even though their starting lineup's quite similar. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm just not high on this team, and I've been high on them in years past.
Maybe it's the way that like they played so poorly offensively against Minnesota.
I thought Minnesota would win that series, and like I was in the minority, but I had them in 7, so I was quite happy with my prediction there.
Damn.
Um, Actually, I might have had them in 6, but I had them. I know that for a fact. But like, I don't know. Denver's just it feels different to me.
It does, yeah. But anyways, for my score prediction with the Warriors Lakers game tomorrow, I'm gonna go. I have a similar thing as you. I think Golden State could hit a. They're gonna attempt. Obviously, I think they're gonna attempt over 53s. They probably hit like 20 or something, 18 maybe around that. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say we win 115 to 106.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
So around yours.
I'm so like checked out on this season to the point where like I obviously want to win games, but I just don't want to get blown out because we've had a lot of blowouts this year. The Boston game a few days ago, uh, we get blown out quite a bit, and then we make a fake comeback, and it's quite frustrating to watch.
Yeah, I do think there is a world where tomorrow's game it's just a blowout. If Steph can just like not be like red hot from three, I do think we could blow you guys out
Same.
because the way AD can just protect that paint, and you can even like because I think you guys are gonna have all these guys on the perimeter. If you get like down, AD's gonna be right there. He'll just sag off of Looney. No one's scared of Looney, Gary Payton. LeBron can even roam, or no, Rui can even roam. You may as well just put Rui on Gary Payton, and he would be fine. At least I hope.
Can I raise a quick point? So, like with Quinton Poster's game last night, right? Where he was amazing. Don't get me wrong. But with Steve Kerr, something that annoys me with him is when one of these players has a really good game, if their name's not Moses Moody, he will overplay him the next game. So Poster's going to get a lot of minutes, and his defense is, oh my God, it's hard to watch. He had one really good possession last night where he forced a turnover, and Warriors Twitter was acting like he's Joel Embiid defensively, AD defensively, and I was just like, his first 3 games he's played, it's been a rough watch defensively on the glass. But don't get me wrong, I think he should play because he offers a lot for our offense. But let's just pump the brakes there. I think AD could give him a bath if he plays. I think AD is going to go, I'm going to call it now, 35 plus.
Damn, I think we're in more of like for like a Reed's game, personally.
Reeves does play well, especially when he's getting guarded by Buddy Hield out there. Can we send
Yeah,
our second guy to who started for you guys last night? Reeves,
it's Reeves,
Rui,
Max Christie,
AD,
Rui,
Christie,
LeBron,
yes.
AD. Max will
Steph will go to
definitely get the Steph
Max.
assignment. I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah, Max Christie impresses me. I really
He's
like
probably
that
my
kid.
second favorite player on this whole team.
Yeah, it's kind of similar with me with Moses Moody. Moses is my second favorite on the team by far.
Yeah, yeah, that is fun. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about the trade deadline. We already discussed it a bit of like Laker Warrior targets, but let's talk around the league. So, who exactly do you want the Warriors to get? We could start with that.
If you asked me 5, 6 weeks ago when we were like the 6th seed, 5th seed up there in the playoffs, I would have said Cam Johnson because he is a needle mover, man, for any team. He is that good. But Um, Probably Vucevic. Like I see how much Quinton Post is opening the offense. Imagine someone like Vucevic, who's a 20 and 10 guy in the league, shoot the three ball consistently. Not a good defender, but better than Post on that aspect. If the price is second round picks, I don't get why we haven't done it. If the price is the first, I'll just hold on to the assets and just I don't even know what I would do
and punt the
because
season.
yeah, pretty much, man. Like I feel bad to say it because Steph deserves better, but no move now can make us into the playoffs like as a lock to win a first round series, unless it's for Giannis, and Giannis is not available as we all know. And like it has to be a top 10, top 15 guy, and there's no path for us to get that.
I agree. I think with the Lakers, it's like a lot different, and all with all these other teams, like I think Cam Johnson's gonna be like the biggest name on the market. I think he's gonna get. I have a take. I think he's gonna get like a massive package, like not obviously like a superstar caliber package, but like he's gonna get a little bit overpaid. I think there's gonna be a bidding war, and we'll see if the Nets pick the right offer.
Quickly to interrupt, like as you mentioned, Cam Johnson, he's going to get a big package, right? And I don't get why the Thunder don't go all in for this guy. Like they've got a surplus amount of picks. They've got 12 first round picks in the next 7 years or whatever it is. They've got the players. They got to give up a guy like Aaron Wiggins, who's playing like sub 15 to 20 minutes a night. Kenrich Williams, when they're healthy, he won't play. And like a first or two, even Topic, if they had to put him in, I would do it because he guarantees a championship, in my opinion, for a team
I
like the
agree.
Thunder.
Not just because he's shooting 50, 40, 90, averaging like 20 points a game. He's also been playing good defense.
For sure, man. And he fits in like at the three, at the four. And Dort's so flexible. You can play him at the two or the three. You can start Dort. You can bench Dort. You can so much different combinations. And Johnson fits so seamlessly on like every team. Again, I said this on my podcast, I believe. Like if Sam Presti doesn't go all in for this guy, I don't get it at all.
Agreed. A starting lineup, even without Chet, I still think that team is winning it all.
It's crazy. They're doing all of this without Chet, and I see Mavericks fans all over Twitter, like kind of taking some victory laps that they're beating the Thunder and they've owned them this year, which they have. But like, man, without Chet, without like fully healthy Caruso, he's still coming back fully. Without like without all these guys, and they
And
drafted a guy with
Caruso
top
isn't even
five
playing
talent.
well offensively, and they're still so good.
I know. And they drafted Topic, who was a top five, top eight consensus guy last draft with a high upside. Their playoff minutes with Josh Giddey was horrible last year, right? And they lack size. They had Jalen Williams playing. Those minutes are getting replaced by Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hardenstein. Like, oh my God. Team's scary.
It is, yeah. Um, and then we can also talk about probably the best player available, Jimmy Butler. You think he's a son?
Yeah, I do. I don't know how it gets down, how it's gonna work, but I do think he becomes a son, and I don't like it at all because look, I know they got to get off that
I
Beal
hope it
contract, but
happens.
at the end of the day, right? If you trade your 2031 first round pick, which is probably the most valuable asset in the league, for three late firsts, like I don't know, man. They're mortgaging. They somehow had a future. They make more of a future. They deplete the future, and now they're going from Beal, whose contract's horrible now, to Jimmy, who's going to get an extension, and that contract is going to age horribly.
I hope it happens, man, just to laugh at them in the playoffs when they lose.
Man, it's just
It'd be
Matt
funny.
Ishbia. Like I know they should. I know it would be hard to trade Book because he's a guy who wanted to stay in Phoenix. He went from a horrible team to winning. And I'm a big Devin Booker guy myself, right? My second favorite player in the league. But I think it's the best for both parties of Books traded, KD traded, and like even if you have to keep Beal, just keep the first round picks. For a team that doesn't control any of their future for 7 years from now on, Mike, like they have to be smart, and Ishbia and Jones, but mainly Ishbia, aren't doing that.
For sure. You definitely have to trade for your picks back somehow, some way. But I think now you're kind
Houston,
of trapped because you traded your 2031 first too.
yeah, I don't get that at all still. But Houston's got all their, I think they've got three of their first round picks.
They have
Houston
all the
also seems
leverage.
like a seamless fit for Devin Booker. So
And
look,
I think
it's like
Houston doesn't need to give up that much since you have all the leverage.
exactly this offseason, I would be disappointed if if there's not even a few reports of Booker and Houston having interest in deals and all of that because it works for both parties.
It does. I don't think Jalen Green will be like a big part of that future. I don't think he's that good.
I don't trust this month run. Like he does this every year. There's a month or two where he just has a really elite year, like top five shooting guard in the league month, and then he's one of the worst like starting shooting guards in the league for the rest of the year.
He's way too inconsistent to be like a top, like a reliable guy on a playoff run. Because like when he's not hitting shots, what is he doing?
Exactly. That's why I think Devin Booker, he's consistent. He's a star. He's proven he can perform in the playoffs. And what annoys me is D Books kind of looked at around the league as a playoff dropper because he has one or two bad games in a series, as every single player does. He took the Suns team with Chris Paul, of course, to the finals. To the finals. Like, come on. He's proven he can do it.
Yeah, I don't even care about injuries. Like they still beat three great teams, and they went up 2-0 against the Bucks. Yes, they choked, but they were a young team, and I don't think anybody actually expected them to win that series. At least I didn't, from my memory.
I expected them to win that series as soon as I got there. But if you look at it again in hindsight, DeAndre Ayton's one of the worst starting centers in the league. He took DA to the finals. They were starting Jay Crowder out the league, or he's on the Kings, but he doesn't play. Mikal Bridges was not what Mikal Bridges was then. Cam Johnson, not what Cam Johnson was. Chris Paul and D Book carried that Suns team a long, long way.
Yeah, they would have had one of the best futures in the league. I mean,
Definitely.
obviously, if you trade for Kevin Durant, like I understand it's a top 15 player of all time. You usually just do it, especially when you're struggling. But like, if they didn't do that trade, I think they're set up much better than they are right now.
I get the KD trade. I don't get the Beal trade. Didn't at the time, don't now. Like, I understand on surface value, Chris Paul in a few seconds, which was the original report, is a good return, like a really good return, if you're Phoenix on the surface. But with a guy who's one of the worst contracts in the league, no trade clause, ascending deal, injury prone, only can score the rock, like what? And then the other reports come in that there's like first round pick swaps and all of that. Oh, it's just one of the worst trades in modern NBA history, honestly. It's just you just handicapped yourself to that deal for the rest of his contract unless you want to get off those first.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of like they fleeced the Wizards, but they fleeced themselves too.
Bingo. Like that's a great way to put it, honestly, because the value for Bradley Beal, like as a basketballer, that's probably that's pennies. Like you could get way more as a basketball player. But if you think about all the external factors, internal factors, I don't get why they did it. Just keep Chris Paul and then use that expiring deal elsewhere, Like Chris Paul in first and seconds, he could get you something of value.
Yeah, and
Because
not
like,
to mention they have Nurkic too, who no one wants.
yeah, man, that contract. Oh my god. Because now they're gonna have to use like a first with Nurkic, one of those three first, and then two with Beal. And like, is that really worth a 2031 first round pick? That pick could be top five, top 10. Like that future in Phoenix is so glim. Like Ryan, the fact that Ryan Dunn and also Iguodala, they're relying on those two young guys to be your future of your team. They really need to like if it doesn't work this year, which I'm pretty confident it won't, and they won't like make the conference finals, won't win the championship, then they really got to think about the future this offseason.
I agree. That's actually like the same with like a lot of teams to me. Like obviously it was kind of the same with the Warriors. Don't you just punt the season? What are your thoughts on like the Eastern Conference teams? What do you think they need to do? The Knicks, Cavs, if they want to make a move, Celtics.
Um, I'll start with the Knicks because that's a team I follow closely. A lot of this banks on Mitchell Robinson's health, and you do not want to take your chances with that one. But he opens up a lot for that team. Like people don't like to say it because he's injury prone, but he's had a really solid NBA career. He's one of the best. He'll be one of the best bigs in the league. He reminds me of like the impact Steven Adams is making for Houston in 15 minutes, rebounding at an elite level. Robinson does that with shot blocking, good lob catcher, and we know what Cat can do at the five offensively, but defensively there's a lot of problems there. So I think that opens a lot for that team. I think they need a wing. Like with all due respect to the Anunoby Bridges duo, they need another wing to like fit in there if they can, like a small forward type. Use Precious's deal, I would think, in a few seconds. I'm hearing like I'm hearing Robinson will be back in the next week or two. That's what I've been told, and I think I wish he was healthier earlier so they could see what like it looks like on the floor with him. But I don't know. For Boston, I don't trust him, but I don't think they can make a move. There's not much flexibility there to make any type of move. They just got to trust what's worked in the past. But it's a very different Boston team this year. Cleveland, I would look for a wing, like any type of wing upgrade. Like, do we really trust a wing core of a Coro who's in the past dropped in the playoffs, just hasn't been up to standard? Dean Wade, Max Strus. Like, I feel like one of those guys will have a great playoff run, but like, I don't trust it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Cam Johnson's like a very perfect fit for them. That's the real team I need to go get Cam Johnson right now.
But they don't have the assets for a man. Like, one first is all they can trade in seconds. And
That
that
is
first will
true.
probably be
They
a
don't have
late
that.
first.
That is true.
Like,
Yeah, I
I'll
do
keep
think
on like dying on
they
this hill. I'll keep on dying on this hill. OKC needs to go get him. No
I
excuses.
agree. Whoever gets Cam Johnson, they might just become contenders. Like at
Indiana
least like a
is a good
lot of
name for him,
teams.
I think. Indiana seems
Indiana,
like quite perfect there.
I love that
They
fit.
really like talk about a team that hasn't paid the tax with this under this regime. They're about to have to pay the tax when the Nemhard contract kicks in. You could like like flash out one of Toppin or a few of Toppin, Matherin, even Nemhard or Neesmith. One of those guys. I'll be shocked if they're not traded at the deadline because paying the tax for a non-contending team would be just like what are you doing? So I think Cam Johnson would be very good there, and kind of what wipe your hands if you're Brooklyn. Have Mathurin to see what he can do for that team. I think that's why I kind of in the offseason I wanted Houston to go for. I mean, I wanted Brooklyn to try and trade Mikal to Houston because they could have got all their picks back, and they eventually did get their picks back. But
Yeah,
Brooklyn's just got a fresh slate to work with.
yeah. What other names do you think I moved?
Um, well, I said at the start of the year, Josh Okogie. That's already happened. Um, Gary Payton the second, I think, gets moved. Who else? Kenyon Martin
Do you
Jr.
think
I
like
think gets
Sexton gets
moved.
moved?
I do. I don't. I think he stays in Utah for some reason. I think Lonzo Ball gets moved, and I think whoever gets Lonzo will have a very good basketball player to work with. I think Lonzo can help a lot of teams, man.
He is underrated.
So underrated. Um, who else do I think gets moved? Hmm, I think Valanciunas gets moved. I don't really, I wouldn't trade for him if I'm a team. 3 years, $10 million, and I like the deal at first, but he doesn't really offer much to a team with like championship playoff aspirations. Like as a backup five, he doesn't really fit with a lot of lineups. If you're playing him in the playoffs when you got a starting five, you'll probably want him to play 15, 20 a night. I don't know if that's worth it. Uh, Another name I think gets moved is PJ Tucker. I think he gets moved. But yeah, just those expiring deals around the league. There's a lot of them this year, which could change a lot. And it'll be good to see. I think Robert Williams gets moved to Houston.
I'd
And
like
yeah,
that.
so would I.
Yeah. Lastly, you want to share a little bit about your own podcast?
Yeah, sure. I started a podcast. Well, yesterday was the first time I recorded. I've had this like thought of I wanted to get out there in sports media here in Australia for a while now. I recorded one, posted it. It's called uh, Courtside Perspective, Down Under and Beyond. A lot about the NBA, and I'll sprinkle in a bit of NBL talk every now and then for the international viewers. And yeah, I think Michael put it in the description of some sort, but yeah, you guys could give it a follow, give it a listen. It means a lot to me, and anything helps. Thank you.
All right, yeah, that's gonna cap off episode 5 of the Purple and Gold Perspectives podcast. Mitchell, thanks for hopping on, and hope to see you sometime soon.
Of course, thank you for having me, and let's hope it's a good game tomorrow night.
For sure.